Supreme Court taking the shackles off of Trump's agenda. The S&P, the NASDAQ did hit new record highs. China confirmed it has a new trade deal framework with the Trump White House. President Trump basically is saying this framework is good for America. The White House is saying trade deals with 10 key U.S. trading partners are imminent. They're fighting with Canada. That's on hold. The deals could come before July 9th, before higher Trump tariffs kick in. Trump says the U.S. will end trade negotiations with Canada over their digital services tax. Canada was planning on taxing U.S. tech companies. Trump says he's not going to do that. Let's get right to Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful himself. Kevin, was Trump right all along on the tariffs?
So this particular tiff, fight, disagreement, whatever you want to call it, started in 2019 under the reign of the idiot king, Justin Trudeau. It was bad policy then, it's bad policy now. It's causing a major rift. It's a 3% tax on tech companies operating in Canada. You know, this whole thing between Canada and the United States, the whole thing's stupid. There should be no tariffs in either direction. Here's why. These jurisdictions, these geographies are joined. You don't have to sell the country. You don't have to merge the countries. But Canada has all the power, the water, the paper, the minerals, rare earths, everything. And the U.S. has the largest market. There should be no tariffs in any direction, north, south, east, west. It's a unique situation. And you do that to create wealth for both countries to fight off China. We're in a war with China because China's coming over the north. So the whole idea of all this crapola is a waste of time. And so really, I look at this saying it's just more negotiation. It's irrelevant. It's going to get worked out. But the whole thing's stupid. You know, there's still a tariff on butter coming out of Vermont at 200% going into Quebec. How stupid is that? It's all stupid. It's all stupid. And at the end of the day, that's why they got rid of the idiot king. They put a new prime minister in place, and he's trying to fix things. But the Canadian economy has been decimated. Zero GDP growth, massive debt. It took 9 years to wipe it out. But the idiot king is gone, and there's a new guy now, and he's got to get this thing worked out fast.
We love Kevin O'Leary. Nobody makes it more colorful and interesting. So, Kevin, we want your take on this. You know, GOP lawmakers are now denouncing and saying the Senate parliamentarian Elizabeth McDonough should be fired for basically cutting into the big, beautiful bill. She knocked out, what do you make of her knocking out provisions to cut Medicaid spending? And she's basically supporting this Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Also, she's weakening what they're doing to pull back on environmental regulations and pulling back on Trump's border crackdown. What is your take on that?
Well, this bill, and I've been following it closely, as many have, you know, House to Senate, back and forth. This bill has to get passed, primarily because it puts in place something very important for the economy, the tax platform. And so there's a lot of bells and whistles, including what she's complaining about. Everybody has a beef with the bill. But in the end, everybody knows this thing has to pass. I'd prefer to see it done by July 4. It may last longer, but there's no way on earth this isn't getting passed. There's lots of elements in it that have everybody, you know, fighting for their piece. But this is the bill. It's got to get passed. And so, you know, whether it's SALT or whether it's her issues, okay, everybody has to give up something, and that's what's going on. But I'm very optimistic, and so is the market, by the way, the ultimate index, that this thing is going to get put through. And it's very important that it does. You may not like the $2 trillion deficit, but if we can grow the economy, then we get rid of that by growing out of it. And so nothing's perfect in these bills. But this is the unique thing about Trump, and many people don't like it, is he wants this done in front of the cameras. And so you're getting to watch sausage being made. And a lot of people are uncomfortable. But this bill is a giant piece of sausage. It's a piece of meat. And you're going to be eating it soon after it's finished.
All right. Maybe we'll have a 4th of July barbecue. Kevin O'Leary, thank you so much. Always great to be with you.